Brilliance Audio presents Tell No One by Barbara Taylor Sissel. Performed by Donna Postel. It was seeing the house that unhinged her. After all these years, she hadn't expected it would look so familiar, so endearing. Memories came. Images, sights, the sound of old laughter unspooling across the surface of her mind. Cinematic. Painful in their beauty. She could nearly see her dad, football tucked under his arm, dodging and feinting a path toward the designated goal. The old thick-trunked Douglas fir was still there, at the right edge of the broad expanse of lawn, brown now in the dead of winter. On the flight up from Houston, she had imagined 1,000 scenarios, planned any number of speeches she might make. But now, she doubted the wisdom of the impulse that had brought her. She ought to have called ahead, given some warning. "It's a fool's errand, Caroline," her mother's voice whispered through her brain. She rang the doorbell, and her heart seized in unexpected delight when the opening notes of the Tillman State University fight song pealed and faded. If her dad were here, if she were still the little girl she'd been when they'd last come, he'd grin and tell her to do it again, and again. He'd be laughing when Coach Kelly opened the door. Coach had always acted as if he were annoyed, but then he'd lean out the door and push the button himself. He'd always had such mischief in his eyes. She stiffened at the sound of steps approaching from the inside, becoming acutely aware of her mouth, dry as a bone, her heart fluttering, the smallest of bird wings. The door opened. A white-haired man peered out. His gaze, magnified by the lenses of his glasses, was cloudy, unsure. She had thought herself prepared for the change in Coach Kelly that would be inevitable after more than 30 years. But this... No, he would be in his 70s now, but he looked much older and so frail. When, in her memory, he was huge, such a presence, a bear in her mind, like her dad. It was everything she could do not to react. It took all she had to make herself smile. "Hi," she said, and it was such a perky syllable. "You probably don't remember me, but my dad and I used to come visit you a lot during football season, back in the 1980s. He was Garrett Hoffman. Went by Hoff? I'm Caroline. Is it really you?" "Yes." She felt relieved and gratified that he seemed to remember her. But when he turned from her, calling out, "Jace, she's here," she was a bit dismayed. She hadn't counted on anyone else being here. Certainly not Coach Kelly's son, whom she hadn't seen since they were kids. "Caroline," Jace greeted her smoothly, coming alongside his father. They were both tall, well-built men. Coach Kelly was gaunt now, but Caroline could still see something of the cute guy in Jace's grown-up self. He still had a puckish look, with his upturned nose and pointed jaw. He was taller than she remembered, and wider through the shoulders, but still muscled, although age was softening him. He was like his dad, and her own, built to play football. Coach Kelly widened the door. "My goodness, I didn't believe Jace when he said you were on your way here." "How did you know?" she asked Jace. "Alexa, the trainer you spoke to at Tillman State, called me." "Really?" Alexa hadn't been at all forthcoming when she had spoken to the trainer a half-hour ago in the athletic office at Tillman State University. Yet she'd called Jace to alert him to Caroline's presence. A thread of apprehension tightened along her spine.